Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Crowdsurfing. I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Mila Clyghorn.
I'm Z Garcia.
Yay! It's I changed a yo to a yay.
You
there.
did, but you were like you were mid yeah.
That was an adolescent yay.
Yay!
We're getting into the year. Projects are coming.
Yeah.
Projects are fulfilling.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, finally.
again, I keep saying this, but Kickstarter is changing. February used to be the doldrum of games for us, and I don't feel that way anymore.
Oh, that's right.
No.
We used to do a lot of our catch-up-paloozas during this time because of that. It was kind of this lull of things in general.
It's still a little bit of a lull from published games, but we get Kickstarters all the time now.
This week had one project in particular that I couldn't believe I hadn't heard about before, that I was like, this is doing gangbusters, and I had never heard of it before this week, so I'll mention that when we get to it.
Oh, I'm wondering, if it's one I'm thinking, I just it popped up in my Facebook algorithm, a couple days ago, but I had nothing
I'm
coming
like,
up
where
to
did this
it.
come from? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Does it involve dogs?
Jeez.
Hold your horses on that
So
one.
we're looking at projects end in the next 8 days or so, and if we miss it this week, we'll probably get it next week. And if we miss it next week, then we will maybe come back to it in a couple years when they do the second reprinting of that such game.
There you go.
It's true, okay? Never lose out hope.
Maybe we'll review it when it's printed.
Maybe.
Never lose out hope.
Never stop, never stopping.
Just be glad we don't just take a look at every project.
Right.
We would.
You might-
we
that
would
That would
not
be
do.
very long, very monotonous,
Yes.
and if you think we're mean sometimes now,
It's after we filtered.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started with a
Let's do
game
it.
that I don't know that anyone in the studio has
let me
played.
get my elbow ready to drop it.
Set a Watch,
Oh, no.
Forsaken Isles, and Doomed Run. Have you?
Yeah, this
have
is
you
the
played
No,
it?
I haven't. I was actually asking Mike, but I was like, I'm
Yeah.
interested. It looks good. I just don't.
This is the one that I probably I should have played by now, because as a in the solo gaming community, this one gets a lot of buzz. A lot of people like it a lot, and it's not. I haven't gone out of my way. It's just we just got it recently
We did. I think for
There
the
is
first
one,
for the
time.
first time. I had
Yeah.
never come across it before. Looking at this project, I'm certainly interested to take a look at what
Yeah.
we have, and this looks interesting. It reminds me a little bit of like a one-deck dungeon feel, but with not with the dice rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. It kind of seems that way to me too. And I like this company. I like the stuff they've done in the past. They did that
Manor, right?
Apocalypse game, and they did the
They did Lawyer Up, which I liked a lot.
Lawyer Up is actually Lawyer Up
Yeah.
is a little bit more of a. It sounds weird to say a serious offering from them, but a lot of their games are very like big fantasy, big sci-fi,
Right.
splashy, and I like that stuff. Yeah, so they're an interesting company. I like their
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. This looks a little complicated for me personally for a solo game.
Yeah.
I could do this and get into it if it's a game I'm kind of sharing the mental load across a few people, but to play solo, there's a lot going on.
But I will say there's a lot going on, but all the cards and stuff look very clean. I'm
Yeah.
not overwhelmed by the amount of information and like what's going on. So it looks like maybe has a lot of mechanisms happening, but as far as like the design, the graphic design, it looks approachable, which I think helps as well.
Uh-oh, here we go. We're doing this again. You have to own all 3 games to play through this scenario. Garfield Games is infecting the hobby.
Well, I think that because
Wait,
this
what?
is this Doomed Run, they say, is a storage solution, and I think maybe it's a campaign where I think you have to have the other stuff to play it. I see
Everything.
it.
Do you want to play a campaign called Doomed
Everything
Run?
needs a campaign.
All right, not
Like,
really.
hey, we're not going to make it,
Yeah,
but we'll start it anyway.
Oh gosh.
yeah, but the base game I'd like to take a look at least.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, it looks good. All right. Moving on to Hollow Book Dice Tower.
Ooh, does this have a campaign?
Can you put a a book on your shelf that's actually a dice tower?
Yes, you
You
can.
can.
When I first saw this, I mean,
Mike has feelings.
No, I'm just waiting. No, I'm curious to what Tom has to say. I'm surprised. You're already leading with not sounding that exciting, and I
well,
thought you might
because
be
I
into it.
like the concept of this a lot.
Yeah.
And I wish they had not just made a wooden thing. I would have preferred. I have some books
Oh,
at my house that I had in my bathroom that look like books, but they actually open and inside I keep like my shaving stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just think it looks kind of cool. But they're made out of like a hard cardboard, almost like what a board in a board game's made out of.
Got it, yeah.
And I would rather that be a dice tower. This
Sure.
wooden stuff looks like an inside of an insert for a game.
It does.
Right.
And so when you put it on
It's
your
that
shelf,
same stuff,
it's
yeah.
not going to look like a book. I want it to look like a book if you're going to do this.
I don't know. I think this is cool. I see what you're saying, and I think I could go either way on that. I think this stands on its own. If I saw the other, like, that's cool too. I think it's a look that you like or don't. I think this looks pretty cool though. I mean, dice towers are difficult to store. They can look neat if you have the room for it, but just to throw it in a bookshelf or, in between your games and stack it there, I think it's pretty cute. I like it.
And when the woman that creates these was actually showing them, they seemed nice. Like they have nice metallic or magnetic closures, satisfying, closes. So yeah, that's towards the end where you see that part. Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good.
Right. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, it's a neat idea. If you're looking for, again, a dice tower you can stow away easily. And
the deck box I don't care about, but yeah.
That's how I felt, yeah. But I think the engraving's well done, so it's like looks like it's aesthetically pretty as well designed, there. Again, won't talk about the functionality of it because I haven't seen it. But yeah, I think this looks good. It's definitely something. It's a conversation piece, Again, I don't use a lot of dice towers, but if I had this, every now and then I might pull it out to be like, oh, look what I have. This is kind of neat. Haha,
She said in the video that they're going to like 12 conventions this year, so I don't know if any of them will be places that are places we're going, but if they were, I would definitely check them out there, because they said that the money, they're looking to get another laser, I think, so they can keep up with the work. So
yeah. I will say there is, in my opinion, such a thing as too much laser engraving and cutting.
Yeah.
And this definitely toes the line for me. I think a little bit of this detail, goes a long way. Yeah.
But I think it's such a large surface that I see what you're saying with it. I think it toes the line, but for me, it's on the right side of towing that line.
For me, it's on the wrong side.
Okay, it's just a little over. For me, it's on the right side, and I think they do toe that line well.
I think it surfs that line perfectly.
I have no opinion. All right. Bismarck Solitaire Board Game Edition. This is a second solo game in 3 projects.
Mike, what are your thoughts on this?
Mike, as you know, Mike, because you are known for liking solo games, you have to play both every solo game and every solo mode in every board game that we ever review.
That's correct. And if I haven't, then I'm personally offending every solo gamer on the planet.
That is correct. Get some more time.
Exactly. Look, this looks to me more like a standard war game, which is not usually what I gravitate towards. However, when I looked at it, it didn't look overwhelming as far as like a rule set. This is one I might try. Now, I would want to look at the rules first. If the rules looked outrageous and it's like charts and graphs and 20-some pages, then I'd be out. But I don't know. I'm not completely off-put by it right off the bat, even though it definitely looks war-gamey.
I am also not off-put by it. I think it looks interesting.
Put off by it. Stop saying that.
No, you can also be off-put by something.
No, I refuse.
You absolutely can.
No, you're being very standoffish.
No, I'm being gregarious and
get off my lawn.
You're squamous. Is what you're being right now.
You're ticking me off
like
now.
a lizard.
Roy had a great word the other day. I can't remember what it was.
Anyway, I agree. It's all about the rules. How complex are the rules? These little charts, and I when I get to this, I'm like, ooh, do I get to like fill in little squares?
That picture worried me a little bit, but there's another war game coming up in a moment here, which
that's like the next level.
Made this look like Ticket to Ride. I'm like, yes, let's go.
Right.
4 Corners. Now this says my Facebook ads that have popped up with this many
really?
times.
I've not seen this.
Well, I looked at this project a few days ago, and you know how the Facebook things work.
Now
it's all about.
I didn't realize till right now this was Calliope Games.
It makes sense though, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on this? To me looks.
It's all about that push the corner down.
Because this looks like a very simple pattern type of a game that is going to hinge on that right there. Is that going to be good enough?
Hinge. That's good,
Mike. Like that? Is that going to be good? Is that going to be enough?
I'm not sure why they're using Kickstarter at this point, because these games are not the type of games that people on Kickstarter would back.
Well, here's the thing. When you do it on Kickstarter, they give you the money first.
That's what it is.
Then you make the game.
But do you think for a game that's going to have a big plastic piece like this, I don't feel like that goal's accurate, that 8,500
I don't either. As a matter of fact, I have a strong suspicion this has already been produced. When is it does it fulfill?
September.
I don't know. Maybe they haven't yet, but I would imagine they at least have a pretty good proof of concept. And
I think it's ready to send the printer.
That would be my guess. Yeah.
if that's realistic September, which
Yeah.
let's say even if they're saying December, they probably
Sure.
they have to at least have files at this point.
I like kaleidoscopes, but I don't know that I love the look of this game. It almost looks like it's out of focus.
That's a good way to think of it. Yeah,
Like-
I really, really don't like the look of this at all. I'm like, I have no interest. It looks like every other tile, put
pattern.
tiles next to other tiles
Yeah.
game. I'm not feeling it whatsoever. I'd rather play. Heck, they make a game called Zero that I'd rather play.
Oh, Zoro? Yeah, for sure.
Right, like it's again.
Yeah.
Any of the other ones I've seen, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of, I'd rather play.
Gotcha.
This does not look good to me.
Okay.
I don't think it looks bad. I don't think it looks great.
I'm very ambivalent.
Really.
That's how I feel about it.
No, well, I'm saying, Mike is actually ambivalent. Like he could go either way,
I would
but
play it. I would play it for sure.
I would avoid playing this. This looks boring
Really?
to me.
All right. Well, maybe it's a really light game.
It looks
you know, that
light.
roll
Oh,
for
it
a game
definitely
is
super light.
nothing, right?
Sure,
and
sure.
people love it. I know it sold a ton for
Which
them.
one?
Because it's called Roll For It. It's another game they did. Where's their games down here?
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah.
It's
You basically roll dice and stick them on cards.
almost
It's like
LCR.
lighter than Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Oh,
And also Suro is a very popular game they've
I've heard
made.
that
very
one a lot.
light.
And
Yeah, there's Roll For It, the top ones.
I feel like I've seen that.
You can see it at Target.
Yeah, so say like next to Phase
And
10.
Suro. Ship Shape's pretty fun. I like Ship Shape.
That's the
Hive Mind's
one where
okay.
you look down, right?
That's the remake.
The Richard Garfield game, you look down.
You
Or
keep-
the Rob Davio.
the ship shape.
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
keep
know that
putting
one.
tiles on and
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah.
make holes and stuff. It's kind of
Right.
fun. All right. Let's go over to GameFound now where you can play Linebacker
This
2,
is the one you were talking
which
about,
is
right?
not a football game.
I'm so mad it's not a football game. I was excited when I saw it.
It's a two-player game that I think they are advertising as 3 hours, and it looks like to me, very, very heavy war game. Look at that.
check that
I mean,
out.
That is.
Also, the graphic design is a punch to the head.
It is.
I agree. That's a cool map, but not a cool game board.
It's a great map. It's a very
Right.
realistic
Yeah.
map. If
Yeah.
I need to
I'm
get somewhere,
planning
If I
a
need
hike
to dig
based
up a
off
hidden
that.
treasure, I love that
Like-
map. Yeah.
We're like lost in the woods. Like, wait a minute, I own Linebacker.
Right.
You're on the game board.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like they're far enough along to show off the stuff.
Well, at least not with the minis. I'm sure the game is. As a matter of fact, isn't this an iteration of another system that's already been out?
I'm going to say yes.
so, yeah,
because if I say
it's
no,
just
I'm told otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a different war or
Yeah.
a different battle. I mean that it's going to. Yeah.
All right, paintbrushes
All right,
and
Neil.
RPG dice. Look at that skull. Do you want that skull?
You can get it now.
You can now. You have not been able to in the past, but now you can. But it's
Except I want it to be
plastic.
glass. It's
I
plastic.
know, that's what I said too, but it's
Yeah.
plastic.
I want it to be
love
human.
plastic.
Well, but you
Oh
can
my
paint,
gosh, yes.
You can paint the plastic. I guess
To
that
look
makes
like
sense.
human?
Well,
That's not what I
sure,
said.
You can definitely
Yeah.
make it look like skin, I'm sure, but
I know a guy. I'll hook you up. I think we'll both be arrested somewhere in the mix.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, these look like higher end brushes that are at a good price point. The way they keep that price point down is by making them nylon and synthetic materials. But you can tell, like with the shorter bristles and stuff like that, they're going to be able to hold more paint in the barrel.
I can definitely tell that.
I have
for sure.
a serious question. It's going to sound stupid, but
Oh, I'm so excited.
no.
Yes,
Like
allow me to make fun of you.
some brushes are like horsehair.
Yes.
Is
Where do they get it?
no, I'm
Well,
not.
such a long
That's it. No, I'm asking like is
It was stupid. I don't know.
is real hair or is artificial? Like, does it matter? Like, are there artists who are like
natural hair
snooty
better
about
than-
it?
Yes.
Like, I will only use an actual hair from a living thing.
Yes and yes. Yes, are they snooty about it? Yes. Does it matter? Yes, because it's going to matter, one, like how much of the paint it can hold, but also how soft or firm the bristles are. So you can, so
which is better?
Usually natural hair, like wolf hair, like the,
Wolf hair? Really?
yeah, like they use wolf hair.
You're like
I may want to get into painting. I think that's awesome. Can you use porcupine quills?
You know what, Mike, you can.
That's
to paint that
awesome.
skull.
I love that.
So yeah, it's going to not have as much brush strokes because it's a softer, but yeah, it still like retains enough of the rigidity and that kind of stuff to
Are
hold
they
the
more
paint.
expensive?
Yes, like the Kolinsky Sable ones that we looked at a couple weeks ago.
Well, you're saying a lot of stuff, but yes.
So that's like, yeah, it's like the wolf hair ones, and it anyway. So yeah, so these are supposed to have those qualities of being soft and be able to not show the brush strokes and stuff like that, but be synthetic, and that's why the price point is so low.
Can you make human hair brushes? Do they
Sure you
sell
could.
those?
I'm sure they do, not on the open market.
Why wouldn't they? Like, that's not hurting anybody.
You lived on
Like, if
or
there's one
around
thing
a
we have-
farm, a horse farm,
So
right?
hear me out.
How do you harvest the hair? You pluck them individually from the
I
horse?
don't
Do you brush them?
There's a bunch
then
of
you take
poachers.
it out of
There's a
it,
whole
yeah,
market
yeah.
where these guys, they take off tails of horses and
Right.
run.
Black market horsehair
That's what it is,
brushes.
right? Yeah.
It does seem like if it's hair. Wouldn't human hair work? If there's one thing we have an abundance of, is humans.
So glad we're having this conversation.
Like who's finding wolves
Different
to do
hair
this
have
to?
different properties, though, right? I mean,
I said,
human
was it
hair is
wolf
going
or
to
is
be,
it fox?
you know.
Now you're making me question myself. It might be fox now that I said
Wouldn't
wolf.
human-
I don't know. It's one of the two. I forget. Anyway.
Wouldn't human
I'm
hair
not-
have to be like a younger person? Because as you get older, your hair starts
Watch it.
degrading.
Yeah.
My hair is just as supple as it ever
I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking
I want to have a
about all
mic
of
brush,
us.
a mic hair brush.
Mike.
Would you be okay with me harvesting your hair to make a brush?
Tell you what, you
You
better
want a
get in while you
name
can.
set?
I'm afraid there's not going to be too much hair to
You
harvest.
want all your
before
brushes
too
to have the
long.
name of the person it came from?
yeah.
That'd be
Yes.
amazing.
Roger Stylist.
And
You're like,
I- and I-
hello.
and I
My
quote.
name is
Is-
Mike.
I like that. I like that.
We may. I'm sorry.
I will
This is
say
my
one
question
thing.
that caused all this.
There is one thing I want to say about this project, though. I thought the split focus was definitely detracting from it, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
I agree.
Because they were like brushes
Dice.
and a brush holder thing. Cool.
Right.
Also dice. And we can fill this thing that we're showing you holding brushes with dice and sell you that instead. And brushes, though.
Clippers.
It's like, wait,
Yeah.
why do those two things go
Well, the
hand
clippers
in
make
hand?
sense. Yeah, the clippers make sense. You just said, but the dice really threw me off. And
I don't get it.
I don't know if it's just because like previous backers, and that's also something they had. Like I didn't know that.
They're also
tie-in.
selling beard oil. I don't get it. I don't understand what.
That would be great.
So you can harvest your own.
For your own,
It's a
yeah.
DIY.
You want to
Oh, DIY miniature brushes.
got to make it supple before.
Can you imagine? I'd say this is
great.
going on Kickstarter next week.
No. It's
and
a
a
big
tweezer.
pleasure. You send your hair in, they send you back the brushes.
Okay.
Oh my
It
gosh.
should just be beard oil and a
Or you
tweezer,
send it
and
to a
it's
loved
do-it-yourself.
one to
It's a
show true
do-it-yourself
love.
kit.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
okay.
it's fantastic.
That would be
like
like
that.
for Valentine's Day, a set of brushes you're like from your beloved.
Or you could send it like a couple will send in hair. We'll combine the hairs and send you a brush. This is your brush. It brings you two together.
It'll be like
That'd be a
this.
great wedding
we're
gift,
doing this.
right?
It's very
Great
yeah.
wedding
Hey,
gift.
look! I made you this.
You're like, how did you get my hair?
I made it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just happy marriage.
I knew the barbershops were sweeping our hair for some reason. All right. Sorry to this project for us derailing that so much. Let's move on. Pulp Invasion X3, the spaceship expansion. So, it has 888 backers. Oh,
There's
no,
a lot of
890.
solo stuff. Is it not
Yeah,
it
also
is.
solo?
Yeah, this Todd Sanders is a designer and a graphic designer. I think personally, I love his graphic design. His games don't always work for me. I played a game called Pulp Detective. That was kind of the first iteration of this, and then he came out with this Pulp Invasion, which is basically the same. It's a card and dice game. And
Oh, this guy did Clinic?
No. Albion Viard is
The company did.
The company's running this campaign, but Todd Sanders did not do Clinic. That's Albion Viard.
Todd Sanders he does a lot of
Small solo games.
quirky games.
Yeah, he does.
Like he's the guy who did the Cabbage Head, whatever.
Mr. Cabbage Head's Garden, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
that
weird one.
designer.
Okay.
Yes.
But this company I find their games to be a little bit complex.
Well, yeah, because it usually does have these big.
Yeah, but
complex
that's
games.
the other designer. That's
Right, it's Albion.
Alvin. Yeah.
I'm probably mispronouncing his name terribly. I apologize. But yeah, I haven't played this. I played Pulp Detective, and I thought it was fine. I backed that. I didn't end up keeping it. So maybe they've made some changes, but I found it felt a little mechanical to me. If I remember that was my biggest complaint, was it just was like, okay, I love this pulp theme, right? Pulp Detective, Pulp Invasion. I love the look.
Yes.
I want the game to have a little bit of that feel, and it didn't. It felt kind of mechanical. So
Sure.
maybe they improved that for this. I kind of hope so.
Do you know if this is original art or if they pulled it from old Pulp Fiction stuff?
I believe this is repurposed from actual old stuff, but I'm not positive on
I
that.
believe so. Just the way that the Cabbage Head's Garden is repurposed
exactly.
old artwork, actually old
Yep.
haunted artwork.
Correct.
For that game, it
That
is.
is correct.
I mean, that
Oh,
game.
I played They Who Were Eight.
The people who painted those original images were using human hairbrushes.
They Who Were Eight was not a great game. It's a really weird
Yes.
card game.
Yeah, I that one I did not play.
What's that first one?
That one I played.
Who played
Ew.
They Who Were Eight?
Yes.
You like that one?
Not
Was
at
it
all.
like?
Uno maybe.
Okay, yeah, I can't quite see.
And you play Mr. Cabbage's Garden?
I like
Did
Mr.
you like that
Cabbage's
one?
Garden.
I like that one. I like
Okay.
that one. I find, though, a lot of Todd Sanders games, I find, there's no nice ways to put this. I think they're pretentious. They come across, like, for example, They Who Were 8 is a board game he designed based on his own poetry, I want to say. I think that's the setup. I think that's the gimmick, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a really
Okay.
weird. You're like a god, and it's just so it's such.
I might be wrong about that, but I believe that's the deal anyway. I find them not interesting.
No, there it is. There it was inspired by a cycle of poems by Todd Sanders, written in '99.
Yeah, there you go.
The
So
poems are fragments of a larger ancient saga lost to time. How's that possible?
I don't know what that means. Again, it sounds just sort of
All right.
ridiculous a little bit. But yeah, Cabbage Head's Garden. I like,
I like
that,
that
one.
one. Yeah.
Horror game showed the board game. Now, I got excited because I thought this was the other horror game.
Terrorscape?
Yeah, but it's not.
Oh, no.
That's not
That one's
it
already
yet.
come and gone on Kickstarter.
Did it?
Yeah.
Wow, then I'm falling asleep here.
This one's, gosh, I don't know. It's interesting because I think it's a really unique take on this theme. Because I don't know of any others that okay, I guess the theme of it being kind of like the Hunger Games, like you're
Or
playing
the Running Man or something
right, something like that, so you're playing characters going into a game show trying to survive this horror episode.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting take on horror.
I think the theme is great. I don't love the way the game looks.
That's where I was, yeah.
This to me like screams, and this is a hot take. But to me it screams underdeveloped, overbloated Kickstarter to me.
And that's my concern, is it because
I agree.
the Kickstarter is so bloated that it won't get developed. I'm okay with it it's not quite there yet, because that's what
Yeah.
Kickstarter is for. Hey, this is our idea concept, we're 80% there.
Right.
But I'm scared they're not going to do
Right.
that last 20% because of the
Right.
bloat and the sold and the
full
hype.
disclosure, I
Yeah,
haven't
like we
read
got the money.
I haven't
Right.
read the rules. I looked at the page. I watched the video. That is the extent of the research I put into it. But you look at these every week, right? You look at Kickstarter projects, dozens of them every week. You start to see patterns. You start to see trends, and sometimes you're not right. I've been surprised.
Yeah.
But this one, my gut reaction is I feel like there's maybe some red flags here.
Well, I feel like I wish that they would focus more on the game to make me feel more comfortable and secure in the
Yeah.
decision of the game. The fact that it's right out the gate and they already have concepts for the full color wooden insert and
Yeah.
all these other things. Like, but what about the game? I'm not even sold on the game yet.
Are we not going to talk about
I
this
hope it's
art?
good. No, I don't love the art.
I'm not loving the art, and also,
Did you watch the video, by the
did,
way?
yeah.
My
It's
goodness.
Pretty,
like
gruesome.
the video is fully like it's people. There's no
Yeah,
animation in
like
it at all.
creepy clowns.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
It's not gory because there's no
Yeah.
actual gore, but it like
It's-
suggests gore.
It does, yeah.
And then, but then I wouldn't play it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a little.
Ah!
Yeah.
I thought it was. Oh, sorry.
But then you like.
I thought it was too tame.
Once I scroll down, I'm like, oh, it's just kind of like so-so artwork of like, oh, here's a goofy-looking biker and a clown and whatever.
Right.
I was not like that. Video did not match this project for
No.
me.
It also feels like they pulled some characters, like that's Wednesday Addams there for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And
absolutely.
I kind of wish horror games would just be their own thing. You don't have to. Not every horror
It's
game has
all
to be a
wink.
parody.
Everything is a wink to something else.
Right.
Sorry to cut you off.
Because horror is a genre that kind of revolves around tropes.
Yeah.
I think it's more than any other one, maybe even more than science fiction, kind of revolves
Yeah, I
around
get that.
tropes.
And that being said, I mean, I love that theme, but I think, ever since Final Girl and kind of doing those winks and those, but
Yeah.
not really, Freddie,
Yeah,
kind
but
of
they
things
do it so
that we
darn
are
well,
seeing
though.
that. But I was, to your point, Zia, that's very much what I was going to say. I enjoyed the video a lot. And I was like, oh, I like what they're doing and going with this TV set and, kind of giving you this. But then there was such that disconnect from the game. And I'm like,
Yes.
you need to pick one. Which one?
Yeah.
Sell me. And if it is the artwork, fine, sell me a little bit more on that in your video. If it's the video, that's very different from what you're showing me. I want the video because that's what I watch and that's what got me interested.
Right. When I got down to
know?
the game, I was disappointed that it was nothing like the video.
Right.
It's very adult, and that's fine, but that's not what you're. Then those two things don't match. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Dungeon Degenerates. This is
Hand of Doom.
an RPG in a box as a board game. this type of art / horror is starting to become a thing.
So yeah, and this is like the 5th printing of this. So this already, I think, has a built-in fan base. You know what this reminds me a lot of? It reminds me a lot of the
Wizards.
Cosmic Frog
That's what I was gonna say.
stuff, right? It's like there are people that are very, very drawn to this aesthetic, this kind of vibe, and if that's your thing, you're going to be over the moon for this, right? I mean, because it is, it's like those old school blacklight posters, you know what I mean? It has that kind of vibe to it. It doesn't really appeal to me, although some of the art I think is at least, I think it is very visually arresting, right? Like it's going to get your attention. I don't know that I'd want to spend a lot of time in that world, but...
Isn't this weird to me that we go back to the 70s when there was some clearly bad artists drawing fantasy, and then we're like, that was cool. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
This is terrible art.
I like this artwork.
No, I don't know if it's very stylized. You know what I mean?
It's stylized because we've decided as a nerddom that it's good.
See, that's I disagree that it's good. Like this is one. It's very.
This looks like a 6th grader drew
It does.
It
looks
that
like
character pack I don't love, but if you look at some of like the big, I don't know, some of it's hard for me to
I don't
explain.
dislike this look at all.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I look at it, and it's like overstimulated,
So
it's like
think
just being
that's the idea.
slapped, and I hate
Super
that. I can't, like
saturated.
super saturated, super
Yeah.
just. It's so busy, but yet simple but busy, and I strongly dislike this.
I get the impression it's supposed to almost give you a little bit of unease and revulsion. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what they're going for.
I think so too, yeah. I don't know if I would want a whole game
That's what I'm
in
saying.
which every single image, everywhere I look is this style.
Right.
But I can't say I dislike this art style. I do like it.
It's like a kid's notebook from high school. It's exactly what this is.
It's like like Mike said, it's overstimulating. It's almost, it's arresting, like you said.
Well, it's definitely going to be divisive, even in the comments here. People,
Yeah.
Some people are going, oh, horrible, other people are going, I like it.
I like it. Someone said in the comments that it's like a really bad poster from Spencer's. Yes,
That's what they're going for.
It
Yeah,
is.
exactly
It's like,
right. And again,
or like
I
a
just
bad, like a cover album, an album cover rather.
For sure.
For like some, schlocky metal band.
But if that's the case, then it's one picture on the front of an album.
That's
Not
why
like
I'm
this
worried.
Whole
Yeah,
big
I think it's
everything,
too
and
much.
it's so much.
Right.
Like as a cover, oh, that's neat, and then you move on, so you're not just
Yes.
And
slapped
so
in
we've
the
only
face
talked about
over and over and over.
We've only
Yes.
talked about the art. Game-wise, I don't
could-
really. It looks like a pretty.
I didn't make it
You
past
know.
art, so I don't know.
I agree with you. I'm not sure if the game does not sound that interesting to me.
Right.
I thought it was kind of old. It feels
Yes,
old,
it
and
feels
there's
old, yeah.
and not just because
That's
it's the 5th
printing.
edition that it's obviously old, but the game sounds dated and sounds like you were complaining about how the artwork is from the 70s. This game has that feeling of we stopped worrying about innovations in board gaming a while ago. This is where we stopped.
Yeah.
This is what you get. That's okay if that's the thing you want.
Pewter miniatures?
Yeah, that's another
Oh,
indicator.
yeah.
There you
Right.
go.
Yep.
We stopped at pewter.
Well, I guess if people attack, you can melt down some bullets, but all right.
I mean, I won't get them on that. I love Chip Theory's brass mag, so I won't get onto
man,
them.
those
I
are
won't get
next
onto metal.
level.
Those aren't pewter, though, are
They're
they?
not pewter.
They're
No, what
brass,
I'm saying
yeah.
is like metal in general, and just.
Metal and pewter, I don't know. Pewter just gives me almost like flashback. Like, I remember trying to bend them into position. And all right. Stonesaga. Now, this one's
this
doing
it?
That's the one I was
amazing.
talking about.
I know why you haven't heard of this, though, because you didn't touch the first game. Stars of Icarios.
Oh, is it the same?
This is that
I
same
didn't realize
company.
that.
Oh boy.
So they've done.
Okay.
So they did.
yeah, it is.
What else? Did they do? I think the second one hasn't come out yet. The
Mythwind.
Mirthwind. But
Oh,
Stars of
Mythwind.
Icarios.
Okay.
And then their first one was Last One Standing, which I did not play. But Stars of Icarios is a Gloomhaven wannabe.
Taylor.
Yeah.
No, it's, well, quick, let's all go vote it a 10.
Oh, man.
It's good, but there is a lot of issues with it.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
a lot of issues, and it's a nice. It's a pretty impressive product for a new company.
Right.
My concern is coming off Mythwind. Mythwind, I'm really excited about, but I have concerns. 'Cause I think they're doing something very unique and different with it, and not having seen what. Just talking about the company on this game, not the page, and actually what I think about the gameplay, but the company concern being just that Mythwind, they're doing something very unique and I think kind of innovative. and we haven't seen that come to fruition and what the end result with that was. So I'm nervous about company-wise.
Right.
Page-wise, and actually looking at the gameplay, I think this looks really good, and it looks like made for me kind of thing. Cooperative, survival, a beautiful
campaign,
look.
though.
It is campaign again, and
there you go.
That's my
one thing,
That's
because
hard.
I love the idea. First of all, the look is ridiculous. I mean, like ridiculous. And the focus on crafting, I love that.
Right.
But the campaign is so I'm like, man.
Come on, not everything has to be a campaign.
Right.
Let me just sit down and enjoy the game.
Right, and not feel, because it gives me this pressure of, am I gonna be able to play the whole thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like games are making me sit down at the table and sign a contract these days.
But I mean, how cool though, with that crafting mechanism, if you are crafting stuff and a couple games later, you're still using that thing or you're upgrading it. Like, I love the idea, something with that mechanism in, and seeing that come to fruition over and over, these things that you built and you break and you repair, I really like that. But again, I want to be able to lean on that company's pedigree, if you will, which is a lot of what Mythwind is going to be, kind of a campaign. It's like, and I just don't have that knowledge to back something. Another campaign, I think, needs more behind it for me to trust what I'm getting into.
I just only have so much room in my life for so many campaign games.
That's the thing.
I am worried to hear, because they said it was designed by Max Brook, who did Star Wars X-Wing, and I was like, wait, I know Jay Little designed Star Wars X-Wing. Max Brook is the developer on the X-Wing stuff. That's a big difference than designing.
Oh.
But that's fine. I mean, I would still throw that out there. But
you look amazing.
It does, but again, I know, whenever it's making $1 million, and the art's great.
Yeah, and it's also
beautiful.
Not cheap. If you all in, it's like almost $300. I believe.
And again, I mean, why, like to the point before, don't make it campaign, then make it standalone, because then you're not having to do as much development, right? I mean, scale the game back a little bit, and then maybe bring a campaign mode later. I don't know.
See, the problem is this is a different designer than Stars of Vicarious, because there were some things about Stars of Vicarious, which was kind of like Gloomhaven, but the combats were X-Wing. So you would choose dice and fly around and shoot the enemy and everything.
I don't mean to call out Loopy, because Loopy is fantastic, but I'm assuming that Loopy was kind of using this as a thing, talking about campaign games, and they said Lands of Galzer, a game with I can't remember what it said. You have to scroll up a little bit. Something like no purpose. Okay, otherwise you end up with Lands of Galzer, a game with no purpose and no campaign. No campaign, I agree with. No purpose, I strongly disagree with.
Yeah.
Strongly disagree with.
Right.
It just depends on what the purpose for me is, to spend time in a world that I enjoy.
Right.
To interact with characters and settings that I like.
Right.
Yeah.
For many people, that will not be enough, and I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's fair to say it has no purpose. It doesn't have to be either or, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyway, Loopy, that was just an interesting, because you saw that, and I've heard a number of people say that, so that's why I brought it up.
Noted. Mike hates Loopy.
Here's the thing I got to figure out. I wish their other game was out.
So you'd have something to,
Then I would have two games to base it on. I only have Stars of Vicarious, which I liked, but even that one I did not finish. It's huge.
Yeah.
Because it's like half Gloomhaven Combat X-Wing and half 7th Continent, because you will also land on the planet, and then you start putting out cards and explore the planet.
I like that.
Well, sort of, except then you go back and then you're on a ship, and then you do a bunch of missions, and then you upgrade, and there's a lot of upgrading and stuff. It's neat, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, I like the artwork. I would rather play this than the Stars of Vicarious based on theme.
I'm a little concerned here about overproduction. Like the tiles, the plastic trays that hold the tiles that sit on the table anyway, which is there, and I'm not worried about the table walking away. I'm concerned. Did anybody pick up on a reason for that?
Oh, I was going to ask you guys about that. They look like they're there just to be cool.
Yeah.
I think they're. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
So I think they're there just to keep the board from moving around so much, and that's one of those things. I think it's unnecessary, but I also love the idea.
I like the idea. I don't want to have to pay for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Or if it was an upgrade, let me get the game, and if I like it, then I'll get it. Kind of thing. But I would want to be invested in the game first. Or again, know the backing of the company. You know, I mean, like I know game trays, so if I see something with game trays, I kind of know what I'm getting into. They're going to serve a purpose, how they're going to fit, that kind of stuff. But from a company I don't know, it makes me a little nervous. So that being said, I think they're unnecessary. I'd probably still get them because I love the idea of the tiles not shifting on the board, especially as you're growing out. Like I think that's phenomenal.
I think they look great. I worry about the company making a decision that the tiles need something in between them and the table. Makes me worry about. That's your philosophy. What else got overblown because that's your ideology and philosophy? It makes me worry a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
So some good things, though. They're not focused on miniatures, which I like.
Right.
That's true. That's
just
true.
To go back on that just real quick, someone did just say in the comments they think the plastic hex tiles are for making saving the game easier. I wonder if that's true.
That's interesting.
If that's the case and it's just a save system, then I take back everything I said, and absolutely they're necessary and I want them 100%.
Whatever, I'm going to try it. I'm going to play
That's
it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I mean, that's cool. That's
Fantastic.
cool. Again, it ties to the whole, it has to be a campaign, so that's why we need that. But yeah, if it helps ease that, sure.
All right.
Yeah, so.
What on earth are you talking about, Z?
Exactly.
I was talking about some plastic tile holders.
One small party game for humans. One. I'm not. That quote doesn't even match. That's a bad quote. Don't. All right.
All right, so this one is basically, if I'm not mistaken, it's a silly game with a whole lot of, it's a whole setup, like one big trope or setup in order to have a party game in which I have a string of letters. And a thing I'm trying to get you to guess, and I can only say words in order starting with those letters.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a blank underline. I can put whatever I want in there.
Correct.
I will say
That's the gimmick.
I was disappointed by the game by the time I got to the game because it was so soul like, and I'm a themer. I love theme, right? But it's like so theme. It's like I get it. Okay, what's going to be it? Wait, that's the whole game?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Wait, you know, like I wish they had led with the game and then I get the theme and get excited, but the gameplay itself is a letdown because it's 3/4 of the page is setting
It's so
it up.
much setup. It's like, you're aliens.
Wait.
You arrive on a planet. This little planet is kind of goofy. This and that. Oh, no, your translator's broken. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Well, I
It's
got
a party game. Nobody cares.
I got a problem with, well, first I hate the 8-bit artwork for no reason.
Yeah.
Secondly, this paragraph, they say, we played countless party games in our time, and we found that many either take too long to set up and or explain, keep only some players engaged while the rest just watch, or focus too heavily on the cards being funny rather than giving the opportunity for the players to be funny. Then you suck at finding party games. Because I played many party games, many party games that do not do any of those things. Are you insane?
Right.
We have a whole shelf of party games here in the Dice Tower library. They're not that hard to find.
No.
Don't be pretentious and act like party games take a while to set up. What party game?
So-
What party game? I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
Ticks it again. Shuffle that deck.
Well, I say talk about a game. I was trying to say, are we sure that these are board gamers? You know, because sometimes we see people that maybe they're Cards Against Humanity players, things like that. You know,
That's fine, but then when you say this stuff, you do your homework.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was coming to. And they talk about game night, so it does sound like they are kind of a.
But it does sound like they played a bunch of Cards Against Humanity. But even those games,
right.
I'm struggling to think of a party game that takes a while to set up. What party game takes a while to set up? Any?
It depends what you compare it to. What's a while?
Yeah.
Shuffle up a deck of cards is probably all they want. So, you know what I mean? Anything more
I'm
than
trying
that,
to
they're
think
like,
of a party game that goes much beyond that.
It depends on if you consider some of those like hidden movement games as party games, maybe. I don't know.
who knows?
I mean, maybe something like So Clover, where you're having to take time to actually put stuff. You set the game up. It's not setting the game up because you're coming up with your clue words and that kind of stuff, but it's stuff like that. But again, that's one out of how many party games that do that.
I mean, the game doesn't even sound that bad. It sounds okay, but it's like a one-trick pony. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, that is what most party games are. That's fine.
No. I have this party game coming to Kickstarter. It's called Two Trick Pony.
All right, Trick Takers Kings.
Yeah, but also why is it spelled like that?
It's Trick Takers Kings. That's a hard phrase to say, actually.
It is, yes.
What's wrong with the spelling?
It's just weird. Why? What's with the
small s's? You mean?
Yeah, like the whole thing is capitalized except for the s at the end.
I think it'd been better if it's just called Trick Taker King.
Yes.
Or kings, because you play as there are multiple kings in the game.
Kings.
You each play as.
By the way, I like this artwork. It feels different than most artwork.
It did.
It's cute.
We were talking about a number of Asian trick-taking games in the news, and this was one of them.
Okay, right.
And I think another one we're talking about this week may be on here too. Look, I'm in a trick-taking
Stop it. Is
that
mode
you?
here
Who is
lately.
It's my Tom being,
Slap him.
Yeah, I'm in a trick-taker like mood lately, so
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You
to try
definitely
to-
have
I
been.
really am. Like for some reason, it feels like
How about you? Are you in a trick
I
taking
love
mood?
trick takers.
So over trick taking. I am like,
Yeah, I
about
just feel like
15 games past them.
I feel like we're kind of in a renaissance, and I'm like getting into them right at the right time. I
I'm-
suppose I mean, I used to play them as a as a kid.
I
but-
feel like
I
trick
don't think
taking.
we're in a renaissance, but
How a lot of-
a couple popular games doesn't make a
There
renaissance.
seems to be, no, I disagree. I think because The Crew was an award-winning
Yep.
landscape
Yeah.
changer, everybody's running to the middle
and
now.
you've got
Okay, I'll take
Cat in the
that.
Box, and I mean,
I mean, that's it. Everybody's like, oh, trick takings actually can sell?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's make 3.
Yep.
Nobody makes 1, like
Nah.
Roll and Writes.
Right.
Nobody makes 8 trick taking games.
I like those pips a lot.
Those
Yeah.
pips are great.
That's a neat looking.
Like
set of
Hopefully those cards are good quality.
Correct.
I don't want to get. I'm really stuck on art today. I don't know why. I feel like it's all we've talked about, that and hair. But I'm really.
That's
like,
art.
I'm like brushes made from the hair of these creatures.
Oh,
I-
so soft.
I don't know that like. This artwork seems like right on the edge. Okay, you know what this artwork makes me think? It's like when it shows the little cute bunny, it's like, and then it goes rabid. I'm waiting for these characters to go rabid.
You know what? That's a fair assessment. I agree with
This
that.
makes me uncomfortable.
That makes me more excited to play the game. If they can all be rabid,
I'm just waiting for it to, close up of the face with like bleeding eyes. Like
You know,
it's just,
the bottom row looks like
I don't like it.
if you took AI art and said, draw Pokemon, but in a slightly different style.
Yeah.
Yeah, draw legally distinct Pokemon.
Legally distinct. Yeah, I was like, yes, sir. All right. Art of Kilforth art book and Kilforth
Hey!
game.
Oh, we're froze. Can you see me now?
Make sure you make it. No, don't say that part because you're going to get.
I'm gonna get sued.
No, they have to be legally distinct. We just talked about this.
Hold on.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
How did we lose all of our cameras?
Yeah.
That is very.
Doing so good.
So unplug the.
Things are
Unplug the main
going
thing there. Let me switch
smoothly.
No.
You're doing.
Can you?
And
Fantastic.
to say how fantastic that Loopy is. Loopy, you're the best.
Around.
Nothing personal.
Nothing that
Go ahead and pull that audio plug again.
You're the best.
all of our cameras.
This happened to us once before.
It
should-
did, yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
Audio's out now too? No, sure. Well, hope
No,
not.
Roy unplugged and plugged it back in
okay,
again.
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean the audio is there, but the camera isn't at all. I don't know what to do.
Oh, there it is. Loopy hacked the stream, they said.
Yeah.
This is revenge.
No.
Thomas, I don't know.
Well, can we force quit and try to come back?
This is Ecamm. I mean, it must have.
All right, folks. So it looks
This is
like we're going to
Ecamm?
ask
This
if we're going to try to rejoin the same stream. So stick with us for a minute or two.
Okay. Force fit it.
We'll be back.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, they say that's better. Huh.
Well, audio is better, but not.
Force quit it.
Yeah, but this is still all very messed up.
Let's see if it at least gives you the. We're back on audio.
Back on it. But it's still no cameras. 0 cameras. How do I have 0 cameras randomly in the middle of a stream?
Well, are the cameras all attached to the computer? Or are they attached?
Did you see that, Mike?
Do they all come through
I
one thing
can't.
to the computer, Roy?
All they heard
I
was
mean, all we have
Loopy
is
is,
this
and then it
camera,
cut off.
and then-
Oh!
Without them. That's it.
So they're both going straight to the computer.
Yes.
What I said was Loopy
So there's
is
not a
great.
single wire.
I said Loopy's awesome.
Well, then it's the computer.
We'll never know.
All right, Roy, then let's do that. Force quit it again, then restart.
I've done everything else.
Yeah, so force quit it again and then restart.
I don't know that we're going to get back in the same stream.
Hey, if we don't get back in the same stream, folks, look for the new stream that will start, because we still have like 7 projects.
Ooh, I think we lucked out, folks. Look at all
Audio.
those thumbs down. Terrible. All right, I think.
No, are there?
You gave me a thumb down just because my computer went down?
That's right.
Give me a computer. Computer, you deserve that thumb down. All right, we're back.
We are back.
We did the thing you always did. Did you try turning it on and off again?
We did.
Off first,
That was
but
it.
yeah.
Does the screen come back on now? Let's see. Oh, Art of Kilforth art book. Why can't they just say Kilforth art book? But anyway,
Just
Yeah.
turn it off and turn it back off again.
and
Art of Kilforth.
Kilforth game.
Well, the book is called Art of
reprints.
Kilforth.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's the
true.
title,
Yeah.
comma.
Then I think I would have just said Art of Kilforth book.
So I'm wondering, is this more about reprinting the Kilforth games and saying, hey, here's an art book? Because obviously the art is a big
You have
draw
to
the
change the
game.
name
Right.
somehow
Yeah.
when you do another Kickstarter.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's the case. I mean, obviously there's a lot of art in this game, and it's quite impressive. I mean,
They said it was asked for a lot. Who knows? Maybe they could just
okay.
be saying that. Like, hey, this is one of our most asked for projects. Here it is. You know,
That
if
is some
that's
pretty
true.
good
But that
artwork,
is
though.
Yeah.
gorgeous art. I don't know Kilforth. Does it have a lot of miniatures? Is it?
have you played like Gloom of Kilforth? Or
Yes, this is the one. Let me make sure I'm not getting the name wrong. Gloom of Kilforth was the cooperative game that I... Oh, I'll just go look here on BGG and see what I called it. No, I guess I did not play it because I
Okay.
don't have it ranked.
I was just wondering if this is like art, you know, to help with that, or is it just because you like it, like a
don't
tabletop
remember
or
if it was a minis game or not. I
coffee
never
table
played
book?
it. I know it has a pretty good reputation, pretty passionate fan base.
Yeah, it's ranked. Well, it's in 1300. That's
Yeah.
pretty high, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yes, I do it. Yeah, I just wondered if it had like purpose or is it just like for the coffee table. Either way, it's absolutely gorgeous. I think this is
Yeah.
fantastic. And if you like this RPG and you know have that group of friends that you have over, it's definitely something I would put on my coffee table. I think it's beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
Foundations. This is just kind of a neat thing I thought was kind of... Not neat, I guess. It's interesting.
Unique.
Yeah, it's odd, right? I mean, it's like a standard deck of cards, and it's like a cartography type of a game where you're
Yeah.
just making maps, right?
Yeah, so just the other day I was watching someone, they were showing how they poured rice all over they poured a big pile of rice on this
I
piece
saw
of
the same
paper.
thing.
And then they drew around the rice things and made a land.
They drew around the outside, yeah, just kind
Like the big pile, they would go around and made this little land, and then little rice clumps that landed out became islands. And I thought that's kind of a clever way to make
Yeah.
a land.
That's so cool.
It looked really neat.
Yeah, it did. And so this is like doing the same thing but with cards. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of an interesting project to
It's
point out.
certainly unique, and this is the type of thing that you would say, hey, there's a good example of why Kickstarter exists, right?
Sure.
'Cause How,
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
else would something like this
Yeah, yeah.
be made? Yeah, really interesting.
All right. Moving on to Fork.
Another trick taker.
I don't know if I would call this a trick-taking game. This is not a
kinda
trick-taking game.
It's really not. Yeah.
This is a simultaneous selection,
Like a-
simultaneous reveal.
Those were like a ladder climbing game.
Yeah, it's like this game has been out so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one sounds like a pretty bad example of that type of game, actually, I think.
So you think so?
Have I heard this game before?
10 creative.
It's just like, oh, reveal like foxes, owls, rabbits, kale. Mm-hmm. If there's one fox that eats the owl or the rabbit,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there's two foxes, they go away because if then the owl can eat the rabbit can eat the kale. If the kale didn't get eaten, you score your own kale. Do that like 5 or 6 times and see who got the most points.
It's like
That
convoluted.
sounds horrid.
Like convoluted rock,
Really?
paper, scissors.
Really?
I don't think
Four humors? Hello?
Really? You think so?
to me this
This makes more sense than that did.
Okay.
I guess I understand that you're saying it's not much of a game there because I think this is very much going for a family. Like, I think they are made for kids to be able to play this. I don't have that strong of a negative reaction. I think, okay, yeah, it probably wouldn't leave a huge impact, but I don't
Well, I don't think it's making a huge impact on me, Mike. I'll forget by tomorrow. But
No, I'm going to remind you.
This is also just like-
fork. There's going to be a fork in your chair.
okay, there might be some words scattered around your office too. Very close to fork. Like spoon. No, I mean, again, it's just, gosh, these kinds of games. There have been a lot of games which
Yeah.
are this kind of game.
Sure.
The farmer and the fox and the hens. It's always like the same 4 themes
Yeah.
too.
I agree, but I haven't seen one of these games in almost a decade. What's
Really?
the last one you can think of?
4 humors that you played with me a week ago.
Well, that one was trash.
Oh, you just threw that in my face. I'm throwing it in yours. Also, Braille fork. That's interesting. They make Braille cards.
Oh, really?
Only if they reach this goal.
that'd be
Plastic
cool.
Braille. How have I not seen that before? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a neat idea.
Huh.
I would try this.
Sure. But I'm with you. I mean, it's not going to have any. You'd play a round or two of it and you're done. You know what I mean?
You never know. Look how much we
What
like
else
that.
has he done?
Night-
Quite a few.
A lot.
Yeah.
A
the
lot,
name
a lot.
is actually familiar.
Let me see. Hopefully,
Actually,
I
I'm
like
pretty
some
sure
of
we've
these.
met
Let's
him.
see. What's that one?
Boba
Mahjong. We talked about
We did.
talked about these games on the
We
news. I
did.
know we talked about this
Yeah.
fork before.
Go down.
We did on the news, yeah.
Cheese me.
Macaron, we talked about. I think we got that in the studio.
Have I
don't
played
know
that one? I don't recall.
Why haven't we played that yet?
I don't know. I haven't seen it for a while. I don't know if it
Keep
got.
going.
Are we sure we got it?
No, I'm not sure. Cat Sudoku, I've heard about.
I want that macaron game.
Cat Rescue.
I played Cat Rescue, I think.
Yeah.
Did you like
That
it?
looks familiar.
I don't remember.
Kung Pao Chicken. I'm in.
Red
Oh, the
Cliffs.
Battle of Red Cliffs. That I played.
Okay.
I feel
I don't know
like
any of these.
I
Okay.
don't know if I've played that macaron one.
I want that macaron one. All right. Mini Golf Designer, Mini Golf Empire Extension. So Mini Golf Designer is a game I played. I think I'm the only person here who's played it.
You and Eric Summer, yeah.
So it's a Carcassonne style game where you're drafting these tiles and you build yourself a little mini golf course, which at some point we're going to get to in this, me scrolling down here. My word, where's the game? There it is. And it actually looks kind of cool when you put that all
Yeah.
together. And I gave it just shy of a proof because there's a lot of things I liked, but there's like 10 different ways that things score, and I think they could have cut that down to like a whole lot less. Also, the artwork on the cards was hideous.
Okay, I
No, but they've changed the artwork.
it still looks
Well, this is
terrible.
the fixed
It
art?
still looks
This is-
terrible. I'm sorry.
this is the
looks
fixed art.
terrible to me. Terrible.
I don't.
I don't
It
think
looks
it's
like, wait,
terrible.
go back down. That
I
big
think it's
guy looks like
fine.
Kingpin.
Yeah,
does.
Mr.
Yeah.
Profit.
Profit.
Yeah.
He's 4 feet.
He's pro feet.
Pro feet.
I've always. I'm anti.
I guess it's supposed to be Profit,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Profit.
Mr. Profit, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
Just now got that. But that clearly says Pro Feet.
Yeah,
That says pro feet.
He's definitely Mr.
Needs
Profit,
one
though.
E.
Yeah, I know it might be a fine game, but boy, do I wish it looked different.
See, I think
He says Dice Tower gave it a score of 8.5, and as you probably know, the Dice Tower never get paid for reviews in order to keep the reviews honest. Amen. Thank you for
That
that.
is true.
But that was also
Yeah.
Eric Summer. I
That
gave it a
was
6.
Eric, yes.
I think. No, I think I gave it a 6.5. I know I was really close because I love mini golf.
But Eric
Yeah.
really liked it, though. Eric's no dummy.
He is not. I feel like I'm trying to be tricked into saying something.
No, who would do that?
Now, you didn't see the original
Go
art.
back
The
to that
original art was
fork
terrible.
game.
Okay.
I think his art's fine.
I think it's fine. Yeah, the art doesn't do it for me. It also doesn't turn me away from it. It's more
offends
like
me.
it's fine. Yeah,
Do you
I'm
like
really
the art of
fine with
this?
it. Me?
Do you guys like the art of the mini golf course
Not
itself?
really. Not
That's
really.
all right.
I like it more than Carcassonne.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I like it more than the people.
Do you like it more than the Comic
Oh, you know what? I can show you the original artwork by showing you the
Oh,
original
yes.
game.
Yes. It's the same exact. Ah!
Make it stop. Although it looks
That
like
one looks the
almost
same.
exact
That's the same image, in fact.
All of this is almost
No. This is the same. It was the people. Look at these.
Oh,
Okay.
Mr.
Mr. Linear.
Linear and Mrs. Hot Dog.
this hot dog.
Oh,
yeah.
she is stealing that dog.
Look at the backs of the cards. That's pretty.
Yikes.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's
I see.
almost
Pretty rough.
sketchbook from.
That might actually be a child who helped make that. I don't know.
I was going to say, I think if it looks like my son's sketchbook, yeah.
All right. Photographic World relaunch.
Yeah.
So this one is a really indie project.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what
One lady who made this
Right.
game. It's Juliet Smith, who is also Bright Beetle Games. Good job on picking a title, by the way, for your company that is not Photographic Journey
That's right.
Games or
Meeple.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Something,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good job
Meeple,
there.
right.
The game looks actually bigger than I expected when I took in the scope of the page.
Yeah.
I watched the video and I thought, it's really just like her with a camera and the
It
game
is.
prototype set up.
That's really what it is.
And then there was more going on than I thought there was going to be. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Movement, taking pictures, set collection.
Yeah. So it reminded me a little bit of like when the first printing of trekking
Yes.
through national parks
Yep.
Okay.
came out.
That was the
it was
vibe
that
I
same
got.
idea of like, oh, very indie, very but like some passion there
Yep.
clearly for this theme and this content. This looks all right. I mean, it doesn't look like something I'm necessarily interested in, but I like to see that passion, and I like to see Kickstarter have these things on it.
I'm assuming she's a gamer since it says custom camera meeples.
She's a
and there's no
gamer,
way
yeah.
on earth anyone who's
Right.
not a gamer would call a camera plastic piece a meeple.
Well, you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
her
Not
game-
only that, there's like multiple playtesting groups that it's been through.
Yeah,
so that's,
in her video, you see her backdrop is her
Yeah,
game
true.
collection.
Yeah, she has Power Grid, Tom.
So
she
right.
does have Power Grid. Yeah,
I think
saw
it's
that
Power
too.
Grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a, again, this is an indie project. I like, this theme has been coming up more and more lately. I'm kind of attracted
lot,
to that
yeah.
idea. So I hope
Back
it's
it,
good.
people. Back an indie project for
Yeah.
once.
I don't think it brings anything unique to the table specifically in this
Sure.
game, but I do think that it's a lot of mechanisms that go well together.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite is that you have a pool of workers and you have to make that decision of when to take that rest action to pull it
Right.
back. And I think in this theme, that's a good mechanism for it that I haven't seen much used in this theme. And so I think it's looks pretty well designed meshing of mechanisms that we already know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing that would be missing a little bit there is some good graphic design.
I agree. Yeah, that's
if she got enough money to collaborate with a good graphic designer or
Yes.
an experienced graphic designer and
would make a
clean up the
huge
look of the
difference.
game, that would make a huge difference.
Huge
It really
difference.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I support the otter on the cover. All right.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Geronimo!
Technically, but it is Geronimo.
What is it? Do you like lemmings? Not particularly. Do you like challenges? Not at all.
particularly.
Yeah, they wanted to draw funny lemmings, and then they made a game.
Yeah, you
Straight up.
Surprised you are not into this because it really kind of looks like that really dumb game you like, Tom. The
Magical Athlete?
yeah, there you go. Which I don't know why I call it a dumb game. I like that game too, but I used to own it. But
Fair enough. I like it. You can call it dumb.
I like it, and I used to own it. Like I said, it's just. But doesn't this make you think of that a little bit? It has a Magical Athlete vibe to it.
Okay. I'll back it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
That was a stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll argue with you next time. You persuaded me.
I did? That is the first time. Note that down. Tom Vassell has been persuaded by yours truly. It's never happened before. Get your money where your
I
mouth
don't know.
is.
I don't
Back
see
it.
much game.
All right.
here.
That's where I'm at.
I don't. Yeah.
Now, this one, I'm actually surprised is not doing better.
I think that they're not selling enough. I know it says at the top, but that this is basically Search for Planet X.
Yeah, it's the second. Well, it's different, but yeah,
It
this is the
is, but
sequel
yeah.
to Search for Planet X, a very popular deduction game from running it. Now there is 1,900 backers.
There
It's not.
is,
It's
sure.
not an expensive game, so that's one of the things. I don't know. I guess I was expecting to see like 500,000 here or something.
Coming
guess-
off Search Planet X, I'd expect the same.
I think it's not as. I don't think it looks as good as Search for Planet X. It's almost. It also, again, they picked a theme which is just hot right now.
It really is.
And that, unfortunately, maybe it's just me, but I'm starting to feel a little cynical about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we need a sequel to Search for Planet X. What do we pick? Hey, how about
Nature.
nature and flowers and animals and like the thing that everybody's doing?
Right.
It's also not as cool. Like, ooh, Planet X. Where is it?
Discovering a planet. Yeah, I don't know.
That being said, I love deduction games, so I'm certainly interested.
Yeah.
I
in
like
this.
Search for Planet X.
Me too, very much. Yeah.
It's the same designer, right?
I believe, yeah, same design team, right? Ben Rossett and Matthew. Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, and it also doesn't look like it's a reprint.
No, I mean,
It's a new
it's
game.
I
definitely-
think visually,
it is tweaked. It's quite tweaked.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think visually I think it looks nicer than Planet X, but that's just a matter of
Do you?
taste. Yeah, it's just.
Does it use an app like Planet X does? Did it
Yes.
say
Yeah,
that?
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, when you look at these backpacks, they were next to each other at the store. I think I would get the Planet X one every time.
I think when you see it on the table, though, I think that's what gets me is the actual look at the
Yeah.
cards and stuff.
What is that? Right below Search for Planet X.
It's the
An upgrade pack?
Oh, it's just bits. Okay, I thought it was like, wait, is there an expansion I don't know about?
I don't know. I'm pretty excited about this one. All right, moving on.
Oh my gosh.
I love how it's not
Tentricks.
Tetris. It's not Tetris.
Yeah, and then you look at the first three things. It's like something along the lines of, "This isn't just Tetris."
Right.
And the next one, "If you love Tetris, you're going to love this."
Right.
But what? It's not Tetris.
It's not Tetris.
Yeah.
You know what's
But
funny
also-
to me? the whole, again, much like that other game about the aliens, what on earth are you talking about? They spend some time at the beginning talking about in the future and this, and people need entertainment, so they discover some new things. And they, like, instead of playing board games, that's what it is. Instead of playing board games, we've now transcended. We can just
This isn't just Tetris.
plug into the machine or whatever. And then when they finally do show you the game, it's like, oh, like, don't set me up in some super advanced futuristic world and then show me badly iconography to Tetris. It's like, that's not going to work out. You're setting yourself up for failure.
It's also really interesting that what, separates it from Tetris is these powers that are going to come into play, right?
Yeah, which is going to mean you do stuff to my board. Get away from my board.
Right. Well, one, that. But two, also, if you look at the board, there's not that many times that you're going to cover them.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem, it's like, I know you also have a hand of them that you can play and that kind of stuff, but if it's that distinct from it, but it's not.
All right, Ryder's quote, it's been
Three Tetris
three
books.
times.
This isn't just Tetris. If you like Tetris, you're going to love this.
They keep quoting just Rado,
Yeah.
It's not a trick-taking game, right?
No, that was Chris said that too.
Yeah, because I thought it was 10 tricks.
Right.
I know.
That sounds like a trick-taking game.
It does. It does.
Okay, well, I like
They
Tetris
talk
a
about
lot.
this limit bar. Remember, there was that game Arial. I'm probably mispronouncing it. That
Ohio.
It had the same thing. It was another Tetris game that had a limit bar, right?
Yeah.
They're the same thing.
It's almost the same thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I worry that, again, I do honestly think that them picking this theme is hurting. This looks nothing like the future. There's nothing futuristic about this.
Yeah.
Pick anything else that makes more sense. I don't know.
Well, I have higher hopes for this than you guys do. I like Tetris a lot. Even if it was something that was in some sort of thriller stolen from Russia. Did you see the trailer for that new
the trailer
thing?
looks
And it's
interesting.
like based on a true story. I'm like, but is it?
There's a movie coming out
About Tetris. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I know I am. But
you gotta.
Sounds really
I don't know.
obscure. Yeah.
I like Tetris a lot. I think I'll try this. If you like polyominoes, I mean, they kind of come from Tetris.
Yeah, I mean, I'd play it. That's the thing. I just kind of wonder, again, what's going to hold you to it.
I'll just play Fits.
No.
Yeah.
Kinesia lover. All right. Scrap. This is from Jolly Swagman Games. That's a name and a half.
That is.
These are cool looking. I like these little wooden robots a lot, and they obviously know people are gonna like them because that's where they're starting.
113 of them. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think those look cool. I have a hard time figuring out what's going on in the game. I mean, I didn't spend a whole lot of time, researching it, but I don't know. It looks like there's a lot happening here.
It does. I'm worried it's a little too complex, and this board doesn't make me
Right.
happy.
Yeah. There's a lot happening right there.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like quite a bit. Though you can click right there and get the rule book, work in progress rule book.
It's a good sign.
It does. I will say, you can mine this page for a lot of information about the game.
Okay.
The game is still complex, and I still feel like you're not really getting, quite the whole picture. But
Yeah.
there's certainly a lot more information on the page than some other complex games where they're like,
Sure.
in this world, this and that, miniature, cool image, miniature, card sleeves, miniature. This is
It's a
little
3x
better.
game, though, not
Right.
a 4x. There's
No.
exploring happening,
Okay.
which actually most 4x games don't have explore in
That's
them
true,
anyway.
yeah, even if they say they do.
I don't know.
It might be good
if you put this on the table, I would sit up straight and get ready to
Didn't
play.
that battle system give you a little bit of Rising Sun vibes?
yeah, the programming
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but I like that battle.
No,
system.
I know. It's a cool system.
All right, I hope it's good.
Yep.
Do we have any more games yet? Alynthia.
Look,
A cooperative or competitive? Done.
well, not only that, but when I saw this one at the Boston Fig Fest, I couldn't hit pledge fast enough. I got a group pledge. To win at the Boston Fig Fest, do you realize the competition?
Stop. Boston. Wait, where did it say that?
It says it at the top. It's
I totally missed that.
the Boston. Stop moving it right
You
there.
go there.
Oh, it's still. I didn't even notice it.
Boston
My eyes
Fig
rolled right over
Fest
that.
winner.
Right.
What is the Boston Fig Fest?
Look, that's all I need to know, right? I'm in. Group pledge.
I said jest. Did I mean a Boston Fit Test? No, I did not.
Fig Fest. Don't toy with me, Google.
Oh, wait a minute. This is actually
it's
an
a
indie
thing.
game thing. I'm ruining your joke.
I thought it was about
I'm
figs.
ruining your joke.
How is this not about figs?
Are you a small indie game?
Well, now I'm disappointed for all the fig fans around the world. They thought, they show up.
I gotta say,
Can you imagine
I'm gonna have
walking
some
in there with
fig
a
jellies.
bib
Right, yeah.
and a jar?
Right, where are the Newtons? What is this, game? No, where are the Newtons? This is outrageous.
I've never heard of this. This is interesting.
I haven't either, but I'm kind of disappointed there are no figs.
Well,
Let's talk about the game. That was just a stupid joke, but I'm a little confused about this.
I don't know. Okay, anyway, it says swarms of dragons. That's not normally a combo.
No, it's not, right? I do like the little dragon. I think they're prototypes, but I do like the little dragon figures in here.
Oh yeah, they're cute.
They're kind of cool.
Yeah, I like them.
This looks okay. It looks a little
Simultaneous
generic.
play, yeah.
The look and sort of theme looks a little generic to me. Actually, I spent most of my time while I was looking at this page thinking to myself, did I play a prototype for this a long time ago in Texas?
Oh,
Did you?
Oh.
I don't know.
interesting. Did you go to the Fig Fest?
That was in Boston.
Someone say it might be figure, like miniature
It
figures.
could be, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just very interesting.
But anyway, yeah, I kept thinking like, oh, I know I played a prototype from someone when we went to that Texas convention, right? The library convention.
Yeah.
That somebody showed me a prototype of a game that had a bunch of dragons, and it was again hexagonal kind of board, dragons. I don't know. Maybe I've played this, but to be fair, that was a long time ago. If that game is just now coming out, oof.
Yeah.
Still, this looks all right. It seems to not be a full out and out Ameritrash sort of game. It's got some Euro sensibilities. But man, that title Alynthia and the dragons and the fantasy stuff.
And
like,
cooperative and competitive. I got a problem with
That's,
that.
yeah, I got similar vibes to this for the earlier one. It's like kind of getting past that Kickstarter bloat. This doesn't have the bloat, but it's more like that split focus. Was your focus on the meeples that fit together or the gameplay? I still don't really get the gameplay. I see the theme, I see the components, I see the inserts. I don't really know about the game though. And I think that is concerning, especially as a first created. Like I need to know about the game.
All right. Is that it? No.
Oh.
We got one more game. I think one more game, yep. Zoo Tiles. Fruit Basket. This is from Japan, man.
Fruits
basket.
Fruits Basket.
Which is very hard to say. Zoo Tiles Fruits Basket.
This is in Japanime game series of your kids can play these.
I think Fruits
Which I don't think
Basket
is all their
a
games.
show, right?
I
And
have
Zoo
no
Tiles
idea.
is some system that's just being done in.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
right. I played
correct.
Zoo Tiles,
Yeah,
haven't I? Or at least
Yeah,
I've seen how it goes.
Yeah, Tom has a big collection of Zoo Tiles.
I don't like this kind of game. Is been done a lot, connecting the tiles. I mean, it's been done all the way back to when they made that Xenophile. Remember that game?
Yes.
It was like a R-rated game of connecting people together. We're
How do
hooking
you
up.
spell this game?
It's
3 X's.
3 X's. That's not a joke.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they also made a safe for work version a few years later that I played. I was like, this game isn't very good.
No, right.
I wouldn't. Well, I don't. Anyway, I'm about to trap myself in a corner. But these putting things next to each other, sometimes it works. Didn't you and I play a game just like this? You and I played one.
Played this, I
You
think.
may have played this, just with a different theme.
Yeah.
I think we did, and it just
and
didn't work.
It didn't last very long, yeah. You and I played this, and I remember distinctly saying to you, don't ever call me in here again.
Actually, I think, now that we're talking about this, we played this exact game when it was from Japan, though, right?
The Fruits Basket one? I don't remember fruits or baskets.
All right.
It might have been a different theme, but it's the same game, the Zoo Tiles.
We played Zoo Tiles, right?
Yes.
What did I
With
give Zoo
another-
Tiles?
Let's find out what you gave Zoo Tiles.
A 4.
Oh, 4. There you go.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, this adding animals, so it's not going to make it better. What did Z give it? A 4. You might have liked it more than me.
I did not like it at all. Not from what I remember, so I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt I rated it, actually.
Well, there you go, folks. That's the games. We'll be right back with some non-game stuff. But first, let's hear from Mark.
Street?
Welcome back to another Dice Tower Preview Recap. I'm Mark, and today we only have a handful of games to look at. Let's kick it off with Ascension Tactics. Now, this is Ascension Tactics Inferno, so it is a standalone expansion with all kinds of new content, new cards, new faction, the Fallen, as well as a way to transform. You can use your heroes or champions and transform them into something bigger and better. Next up is What on Earth Are You Talking About? Now this is a little party game where aliens have come to Earth and you have to transcribe or give clues to the humans based on cards you receive. Now each of these cards only has a letter, well several letters, and you have to use all those letters in a sentence at the start of the word in order to put together the right clues for the humans to guess the words correctly and get points. It's really that simple, but it's interesting all the different types of phrases and things you can come up with, and there's some wilds thrown in there as well. And I'm not typically a party game guy, but I found this one to be a lot of fun. And lastly, we have Crystal Age, where some sort of giant meteor has crashed in the middle of this area, releasing corruption everywhere. And so it's been walled off, and you have to travel through the wall into the different zones. And along the way, you're going to meet all kinds of creatures you have to defeat. But what's cool is that you take their card and then use that as your ability, giving you more dice, more options as you attack and fight onward, trying to get to the middle or whatever objective it calls for, because there are several different ways to play. And there's guardians that you'll have to meet their criteria in order to get past them. And so for my pick of the week, you know, I love Ascension Tactics, and this new one, Inferno, is just right up my alley. Deck building, adding to your heroes, doing all kinds of constructs and things to add to them, all kinds of weapons and spells, and adding unique items to enhance their abilities and go out into the world. But the thing that really excites me about Inferno is the fact they're going to have a 4-player co-op, which I can't wait to try. All right, folks, if any of these games look like they might be of interest to you, please go check out our full preview. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Is that like a living cockroach?
I wasn't even paying attention to Mark, you notice?
No.
Like an anthropomorphic cockroach, maybe? Yeah.
All right, folks. Some stuff. If you have weird things, funny things, interesting things like crab lamp that Camilla wants.
Yeah. Spider?
Oh, it was a spider lamp.
A spider lamp. Send them to me at tom@dicetower.com, and they may show up in a future episode. So first we have SplatterDom, the customizable. I like that name actually.
SplatterDom.
It's legit.
2 foods enter, 1 food leaves.
That's right.
You know what? If I saw this in a store, I wouldn't back this. But if I saw this as seen on Kickstarter section of Bed Bath & Beyond, which closed down, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like everywhere?
Well, ours did.
Oh yeah, okay, I knew ours did, yeah.
Anyway, if I saw this, I might get it because we have a couple of those. We have some bowls that open up.
Yeah.
And I found them to be pretty handy, actually.
And it's not, I mean, I'm thinking like frying bacon. This would be amazing.
This is actually, I think, this is something that could be very useful. Yeah. No, I mean, I like the fact that it is, you know, easily, at least it appears to be easily collapsible, and why not, right?
The only problem is you're gonna have to hold your hand at a slightly odd
You have to like
angle.
get up in there, yeah.
That is the thing. I do hate really tall bowls when you're or really tall pans when you're doing little shallow cooking.
But if you're dropping bacon, and you're just saying that might be, I might use it just for that part.
Or I might put the bacon on and then put it on top afterward when it's sizzling. You know, I mean.
I would play basketball with the bacon bit.
There you go. Yeah, no, it looks good.
Ooh, I didn't think about microwave to keep the splash and popping.
All right. Next, we have a back transformer, powerful posture in 1 hour a day.
Oh my gosh!
I will mention
Again?
this is from Miami, Florida.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Ooh.
So you know.
Well, I didn't actually put this
So
on
they're
here to
gonna
make
find
fun
you.
of it. I mean, it's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Isn't it the
I do
same
like
thing we've
these people
seen?
dancing though.
That's right. I mean, haven't we seen this like
We've seen
15
similar
times though?
things. Yeah, we've seen some posture things. I mean, obviously it's an issue, right? I mean, people, I guess, just don't have good posture.
I guess so.
And I'll tell you the part that was most appealing to this, to me, of this, for some reason, was when he grabbed the little handles, and because it looked like, oh, that would be such a good stretch. There's like these little handles.
They're like below, actually, right?
Yeah, they're like below. I was like, ooh, that looks like that would be nice for a stretch.
The problem is if you wear this, everyone's going to assume you have some sort of injury that you're recovering from.
Right.
And when they find out they're not,
I'm
you don't,
assuming
they're
this
make
is
fun of
something you wear at home for, you know.
I'm wearing it on the plane through security.
You know.
Yeah, it's interesting that. There you go. It's like a good stretch, kind of. Yeah.
That looks like it would be a good stretch.
Yeah, get some good pops.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, pulling back on your shoulders.
How do you get out of it?
You don't.
Once you're like, what?
You just undo it
look
from
at
the
it,
shoulder, right? You have to,
right there,
you have to undo a shoulder, undo one, right?
Look at him struggling.
Well, it depends on how tight you get it.
That's correct. This
I
is
do
a
like
lifetime commitment. This.
But no, I do like that. Basically, you pull on those, and I'm guessing it retightens and
Yeah.
pulls you
Yeah.
back and
Right.
down, gives
Yeah.
you good posture.
I guess
I would, if it was here, I would definitely
I'd
mess with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
like try
It's
it.
also not particularly expensive. $100 does not
Yeah.
seem over the top for something like
Right.
this.
Right.
Go Miami. All right.
Where's this one from? Because I'm about to crap all over it.
Wait, so you don't want Lego shoes?
I just don't want anybody who can actually find me. California, here we go. This is a piece of crap.
You don't like the idea of shoes made from coffee grounds?
These are that's very strange, but I will say those the one kind
Yeah.
that looks like normal shoes, whatever.
Yeah.
It looks like normal shoes. These
The Legos are crazy.
are awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I went and looked at the price on these.
Wait, you just said you were going to crap
I
over
was
this.
just joking.
I'm super confused.
Wait, you like those? I'm
I
confused. Are you being
really
sarcastic?
like those.
You're not being
Those are-
sarcastic?
no, I'm not
They
being
can be-
sarcastic.
They can be fun in the right
Where's the
situation.
record scratch
I think
sound
it'd be
effect?
fun.
I'm super.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think a pair of shoes
They
make
look
fun
super
though.
light, and that's why
I
I like
love the
these
way those
shoes.
look.
They look very light.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
you know
exact
what I
same
mean?
shoes on.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if they're light, I mean, like, is there any support though?
These have more support than I expected. Tom gets credit for these.
Why do we care about the coffee
these
part?
right here?
The coffee
Because
part's
save the
cool,
planet,
right?
fool.
But why coffee?
Why not
Because
coffee?
they try making it from feces, and they're not
Is this
nearly
to
as
make you
waterproof.
feel? This is to make you feel better about drinking at Starbucks. That's all this is.
Well, it is, yeah, and also the shoe sizes are venti. I wear venti. I wear grande.
You can't use the same joke twice in a week.
Why not?
No one else has heard the other joke yet, Tom.
What was the other joke, Mike?
It's for the Seize the Bean game we're going to be reviewing this week.
That's why you're in the
Also, why is
review
everyone in
for
this
that.
video running through water?
Well, look, you know,
how it works.
when you need to moisten
So
that
you would get the Lego ones. Would you try to stick Legos on them?
I don't think I would. I just like the way it looks.
Oh my gosh,
Look,
I hate
look.
those.
Those are so
If,
neat.
if
pretty
I
slick.
saw somebody walking by with those, I would definitely be like, hey, look at his shoes. What an idiot.
That's not very nice.
They're cool looking. I do like them, yeah.
No, I hate them so much. You look so stupid.
I wish they were more colorful. What's the point of them, though?
Well, they're just a design, I think.
Look, if you want to go to Minecraft, you need to dress.
Look, Camilla's shoes right now, for example, look, there's a floral pattern on
Yeah,
these.
they're adorable
It's like
vans.
recycled curtains from the 50s, basically, made into
They're
shoes.
adorable.
Kick
There's
the
nothing
Ender
wrong with
Dragon
it
in the
being
grill.
looking like, like Lego pieces. I think it's cool.
I disagree. I would absolutely make fun of you.
I do agree that somebody's saying it's going to collect grime in those little spots.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
true.
what they're saying.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You know, that's going to unfortunately get gunk in it, so you have to like spray them down. But man, I love that look.
Are they like cheap cleats?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I do worry about, the way if they're just going to end up being Crocs, you know what I mean?
Well, also,
That's what I think. That's the other
are the
thing.
dots in the bottom going to rub off after a
They
month
will.
of
And then you have
walking?
like,
I'm sure they
You're
will.
hydroplaning
But I don't care about the
everywhere.
bottom. I care about the side designs there. They're expensive. That's like $105 or
Yeah, but
something.
shoes, that's how much shoes cost
that's
now.
regular shoe. That's cheaper than like running
You ever
shoes.
see
All right, well, I
Look.
buy cheap shoes, all right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
That's huge shame.
Everywhere
I
I
wear
go,
cartons of eggs on my feet. What's that?
but they don't have the 50% off the second pair.
They don't.
Which is almost
There
at every shoe shop I've been to
Yeah.
these days.
That's right.
That is true. Also, I don't know what's going on there, but I'm slightly intrigued.
They're putting a shoe to sleep.
Breathable.
All right, we're done with the good projects.
They're showing you it's waterproof. I'm gonna disagree with breathable.
Okay, the roller coaster wheel fidget spinner.
This is literally just a wheel, right?
It's a
telling you
fidget
it's a
spinner,
wheel.
yeah. It's a wheel. But it's an actual wheel because it has, a rim and rubber on the
Right,
outside.
right.
And then my man's like, you know what the wheels do? They spin
Right.
like fidget spinners.
Oh.
Let's sell it as a fidget spinner.
$55.
I don't
pass
get
the
this at
savings
all.
on to
It's a
him.
literal wheel.
It's a wheel.
This is called about as close to a scam as you can get. Like one of those hucksters from the old 1800s. Like, I got some new thing for you, see? It's a
See
spinner. And you're like,
my
oh, this
new-
is great.
My new fidget spinner here.
And then your dad comes home and's like, we need to change
Great there.
the roller coaster in the backyard. You're like, wait a minute, there's 50 of these things here.
Yeah, no, this is. I don't get this at all.
It's just a fidget spinner.
95
I mean,
people.
well, it's a wheel.
95 people do.
Well,
By the way, fidget spinners have died a hard death, right?
Yes.
They're not around at all.
Oh, yeah.
They're all just now being used as wheels.
Well, no, now there's the bubbles. So I think fidgeters, like fidget spinners are gone, but like fidgeters are still like there's those
Oh, it's
bubble
those little
ones.
pop
yeah,
things
those little
now,
pop
you're right,
bubble
yeah,
things.
that's
Yeah.
what
They need to do. You know what we should do? Buy those things that look like pancakes with the bubbles. Fidget spinner in the middle.
Millions!
Take the whole thing, you spin it,
And pop it.
and you pop it. Pop, spin and pop. I'm gonna call it the spin and pop. Spot it, pop, pop, spin and pop.
Spin, bop, 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 spin, bop, 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 bop.
I'm a scat man, spin it and pop, I'm spin and pop.
Moving on.
You spin and pop.
Z loves this project.
There's nothing
Okay.
okay
Waiting
about
for
this.
But
Here
this
we
project-
go.
This project is not making $1. It's making 1,600.
Yeah.
This is by people that have dogs that are apparently comatose.
Right.
How is a dog going to be okay with you running behind it with a telescopic pole
All up in its business.
trying to catch the poop while it's coming out? And by the way, Tom, it's in the video.
You should play the video. You're gonna play the video? I double dog dare you.
This
All right,
woman
fine.
is
Turn
right
off
up
the
in
audio.
there.
Turn off
The
the
audio's
audio.
off.
So here we go. Okay, you're about to
Okay,
see
first of all,
some.
that's a very well-behaved
poor
dog.
like the indignity.
You're about to see this, folks.
Right.
Okay, actual. Okay, warning for content
Yes,
feces.
correct. Yeah.
That's
It's
better
a
than
flashlight. They're like, it's so classy. It's a flashlight. It's
Look.
telescoping. Here we go.
There we go.
Hello. Yeah, she's pressing up against it.
There you go. And you know what? This thing better have one of those Men in Black attachments so the dog can forget it ever happened. Because this dog, I'm telling you,
Okay.
is never going to be able to live himself
Actually,
down.
I don't know.
This dog goes to the dog park.
Dogs have-
you're the one that has the person walking behind it with
Dogs
the pole.
have no shame, so I don't think that would actually matter.
I don't know. I feel like if I'm pressing up against my dog, you're like, hey, whoa, hey, I'm not done.
Yeah.
Wait a minute
Normally you
now.
wait till I move.
Right.
First I do this bit.
Also,
do that better than I
seriously,
do.
Also, then
you're
there's the whole
acting this out here.
Pavlovian thing. It's going to think anytime something touches it in the back, that it has to go. Before dogs
That's why
walk
you have a
around,
broom
you
at
touch
home.
the dog, you give it a pet, and it goes all over the floor.
That's interesting. It's like a reverse Pavlov.
It's a reverse Pavlov.
Reverse Pavlov
so if you have a
response.
broom, you're like
Right.
shooing the dog away. That's not going to work anymore.
No, it's going to work.
Also, what's the reason like you're too good to use a bag?
I love this.
Yeah.
This is later, like the whole thing is you don't touch this.
Right, and then she
but then
grabs it.
later on, this thing does not telescope itself back. So later on, she has to grab it and pull it
Bring
back.
You're
I'm like,
bringing it back.
if you were slightly off with your aim, you got some poopy all
She's touching
over
it right there. Also, why is the
Is that a
USB
fidget
port on
spinner?
it?
Oh, it's to charge the flashlight.
Oh,
Why?
You need to charge it, Tom. You got to charge the flashlight. You know what I would love? Is for that ring around the bag to have a ring of LEDs.
I love the braking system because
Music, it's all synchronized.
I
it's hot.
really like the braking system, the way they show it, because it's like the lady's like letting the dog run, and then it's like snap.
Yeah.
So that dog's like, yeah, I'm free.
Yeah, they're like, but then put the I want to say it's, an add-on, the thing that gives it a little bit of stretch, because otherwise, that's not good. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's a red tail light blinking.
Yeah.
If the dog's backing up. Oh,
I get this. The flashlight's fine, although they're showing in a very well lit area here.
Yeah, right.
Like this area is great.
Yeah.
I know.
We walk our dogs at 6 in the morning. It's pretty dark here still, and we don't need flashlights to walk.
No. Also, you got to take them to the neighbor's yard.
No, we clean up
Solve the
after our dogs. I don't want.
No, of course. I'll tell you what, that never gets old.
That's funny right there.
Poor dog.
How long before people...
Earlier today, I just heard Z laughing at his desk.
Poor dog, every
Looking at
time,
this
every
stupidity,
time that its dog buddies Googles him, this is the first thing that comes up for that dog every time, right?
No.
Okay, Mike, what's your pick of the week?
As much as I am bemoaning the fact that it's another one of these big campaign things, the lure of the Stonesaga is too strong. It looks incredible, and I had heard nothing about it, but man,
I'm trying to find it.
It looks
There it is.
ridiculously good. So I hope it is. Do I have any hope of playing through a campaign of it? Probably not, but I sure would like to check it out.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know, but man, it looks great.
I'll put mine in there as well. Why not?
There you go.
And then while you're at it, Roy, this was mine as well.
Oh, look at
For the
this.
exact same reason of like, as much as we went on the campaign, I was like, I want to try this one. I want
Yeah.
to see what they do with this crafting and, you know,
Yeah.
that stuff you craft, going out and finding the stuff and then crafting and then seeing that come back into play, you know, session after session. If the hex tiles, as they said in the chat, are really helpful for setup, then I'm
They said
that
it's
much
for-
more
yeah.
in. Like, I'm very much excited about
I
this
really
one.
feel like you all just gave it a seal of the pick of the week, and I'm going to be the one who ends up playing it.
No, I
That's
will
likely.
absolutely play this if it comes through.
Enjoy playing it, Tom.
My pick of the week is thank you, is the Search for the Lost Species.
Okay.
Because I really like the Search for Planet X, and I have high hopes for this one. I'm already assuming it's not as good. I don't know why.
I don't know why. It might be better, but I don't know. I agree with you.
Because that board doesn't, I mean, the other one was like a spinning board and stuff. This one is like move on a map, and I'm getting shades of, what's the other logic game on the map? Tobago.
Yeah.
Little Tobago. Again, it's that, I like nature, I guess, but
Oh, and that other game too, yeah.
you know, there's so much of the themes of that. But despite all that, this designer has done well. The Search for Planet X, I wasn't sure what it'd be like, and I played it, and it was fantastic.
It's really good. And I don't always like these types of games, so this one was a good one.
So there you go, folks. Lots of stuff we talked about today, and we're done. We'll be back tomorrow morning for Board Game Smorgasbord at 9 o'clock. We'll see you guys then. And then tomorrow you get to vote on the best board game covers of all time.
Right.
Again.
Redux.
Yep.
So until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Z Garcia.
Take care of your dog.
You know what we mean.